One. Hiyo.
No, I'm not ready.
Oh, you're not ready? Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. All right, here you go. You ready?
Yeah. I told you I'm not ready.
Oh, sorry. I'll take
I'm
it off
just
again.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
By the way, guys, he said he wasn't ready. He did nothing changed. He just said it for no reason. So I took it off. I took it off.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
How's it going?
I
You're
ought to teach you
welcome.
not to worry.
That's right, man. You better not be worried about anything.
Right. It's ready or not, here we come.
That's right.
We are here, and you are here, and we're. I guess that's still the same thing, and we're collectively here. Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. Thanks for being here. This is a great show. This is a great time to be here, and it's great to have you guys here with us. Happy birthday, Kendra! That's awesome.
Happy birthday!
Another year, another level up.
XP, man.
Yeah, getting all the XP. Oh, thank you so much. I asked for a while.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Oh, that was much needed.
Oh, you weren't thanking me. I didn't give you that.
That's true.
28 years. You're almost as old as me.
Dang, one more year and you'll be as old as Joe. Wow.
Whoa.
Woo.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're watching a hurricane.
Who?
Kishin.
Oh.
Kishin Slayer. Comfy stream to sit out and watch a hurricane.
Wow. Yeah, well.
I want to watch a hurricane.
That's okay.
I love you too, Zay.
That's okay. We don't have a hurricane, and we aren't. I mean, there's none around us, but doesn't mean we can't come in and rock like a hurricane. So we'll just be here rocking like a hurricane.
Wait, you're at Universal right now?
Oh,
Universal? In Florida?
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, Kendra.
Some good roller coasters.
Kendra. I hear there's a roller coaster called Velocicoaster there. It's been deemed one of the greatest of all time roller coasters ever.
Really?
It's fairly new.
And
it's like Jurassic Park, you know, like Velociraptors, you know, Velocicoaster. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I want to ride it. I think it's a Universal if I remember correctly.
You know, that's kind of funny because you just mentioned Universal, and you had been talking about roller coasters this past month quite a bit. And I just remembered, guys, I had been telling you I haven't really been on a roller coaster in a long time, but when I went to LA with for Anime Expo, we went to Universal as well, and I rode some roller coasters there, and also rode some in Florida at Universal Studio there with Dean. 1 year. That was a couple of years ago now, but yeah, I forgot about that.
I like roller coasters. Yeah, no, they're good. Specifically, okay, so your friend doesn't like roller coasters, specifically the ones that have loopy loops. I can tell you from the video, because I watched a POV video of Velocicoaster. It's got like a whole, like you're upside down for a while. Like it just turns you upside down, and then you're there.
You're just
and then you're upside down for like a couple seconds, and then you continue. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you went to the Hogwarts part.
Yeah, the Hogwarts place is actually really cool. I went there too. It's actually they did a really good job.
Did they? That's cool.
Yeah.
I hear Universal is just really, really good as far as like theming and like everything that they've got there.
They
do love
amazing.
To go.
You know, it's funny. I don't know which one, if not both. We were walking, and it's like at some point you realize everything around you, all of the like, all of the structures are fake. You think you're walking through a town and it's got like open windows with things inside of it, like you could purchase stuff and like and so on. And then like after like walking through it for a little bit and you're tuning it out, you actually like look at it and go, wait a minute, that's all painted. Or that window is literally only like 3 inches deep, and they have stuff that looks like it's in the background, but it's only 3 inches deep, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. And it's pretty cool.
Wow, so they've done that amount of art.
Yeah.
That's wow. That is cool.
Yeah, they it was really interesting because I don't know, it's just really cool what they did. But yeah. Because it makes you feel like you're on a set, fun. You know? And that's what I think that's the point of it, right? So yeah, theme parks are cool. They are very cool.
I'm not a big fan of Disney. Disney, I didn't enjoy all that much. It was just way too crowded and a little bit too Disney.
I'll say this about Disney. I really, really like Epcot. But
yes.
Is there one called Hollywood Studios?
No, there's MGM.
MGM and Epcot are the only ones I like, really. But I really like Epcot because you can just go around and experience different cultures and or whatever. I don't know, at least when I was there last time, and that was when I was younger, but yeah. But my mom really enjoyed it too, and she was an adult, so I think there's a lot to appreciate there. But yeah, I can understand not really. I can understand feeling like it's too Disney. Yeah, absolutely.
We avoided like that what? Whoa! The Harry Potter package is like wow, extra $200. Dang! Hey, that's a pretty cool birthday present.
Yeah,
that's fun. Hey, Mialado.
Hey, Mialado.
John O2. Wait.
Six Flags.
Why do I have a beard? Why? I don't know. Why are you two? And why do I have a beard? Because I'm lazy. I'm tired. I'm busy. And yeah.
Hiro, are you talking about the boat ones? The ones that just go like this, rock everybody, and then eventually maybe go all the way upside down?
They swing back and forth until you go upside down one time.
Yeah, one time, yeah.
You go all the way around. That's, oh my gosh.
I think that's the boat one. That one's fun, but...
Except for you, they'd have to like strap you in. A lot of the boat ones, they don't even hardly have a seat belt.
Yeah. The boat one doesn't necessarily feel good on the body sometimes. But...
Wait, you flew to Michigan. Welcome. I'd say welcome to Michigan, but you're already gone. Welcome to have been to Michigan.
Welcome. Hey there.
Hello. And who's Jamila Jabudi Booty?
Yeah, Jamila Bruh.
And me, the Yoshi. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for being here, guys. You guys are awesome.
I'm confused too, John O2. I don't understand why you're 2.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened to you, man. You should try to be older or something. But you don't get to pick, right? You don't get to pick. So sorry you got 2 again. You've been to Michigan? Yes.
Welcome to have been to Michigan. That's right. Welcome. Hey, I've been to Michigan before.
I've been there. Yep. Quite a few times. Oh, wow.
Now you're John O22.
Amazing, man.
Hey, coming back to Michigan on Sunday. I will be coming back to Michigan on Sunday as well. Because I'll be leaving Michigan on Friday.
Where are you going?
And coming back. I'm going back to Cedar Point.
Oh, awesome. Speaking of the good roller
Speaking of
coaster
theme
rides,
parks,
wow.
and
Yeah.
speaking of theme parks for birthdays, this is what my son, my youngest son,
Mm-hmm.
wanted for his birthday. The only thing he wanted for his birthday this year was to go back to Cedar Point. And but
I think that's wise. That's a really good
his
birthday.
oh yeah, heck yeah. And we're doing it up. We're
Mm-hmm.
taking Steve with us.
Nice.
So that's gonna be fun.
Great.
But yeah, his birthday's not till like the end of October when it kind of gets cold, and so we're going now because it's still gonna actually be nice out, you know.
Is Steve taking his
But
daughter or no?
nah,
Okay. That would have been an interesting experience because I'm sure I don't know if she's ever
I don't
been.
think she's not quite tall
Yeah, she's
enough.
not quite old enough, right? Yeah. I
Yeah,
forget about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yep. So
Yeah, then
it's
better
what it
not.
is. But
Mm-hmm.
man, so the theme parks are cool. I mean, basically, I just go for roller coasters because they're fun.
I mean, it's kind of cool to look around and see stuff and experience it. But yeah, when I was in Universal Studios, we happened to be there and didn't realize what day it was, and it was Mardi Gras. That was an
Oh,
experience.
oh,
Because we were just
wow.
hanging out, and then all of a sudden, the parade comes, and it's just like throwing beads everywhere, and there's
Mm-hmm.
partying, and there's all sorts of people on the streets, and we're like, "What is?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I forgot about this all day."
It's Mardi Gras. Jono, you have a job and you got to get up in the morning. Hey, but you know what? Hey, I'm proud of you, man. And I'm glad to see you. Man, it's been so long. I haven't talked to you in forever.
Yeah,
We need to
yeah,
talk
same.
again. Dude,
Hope you're doing awesome.
crazy. Yes.
Good luck.
Yes.
Have a great day.
Congratulations on having a job. There are a lot of people who want a job that don't have one. And so, hey, good on you, mate.
Mm-hmm. That's right, mate. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Well, why don't we get started on a topic here?
Yeah, why don't we? I
Oh, by
think
the
that'd be a
way,
great idea.
welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. This
Oh,
is the
yeah, you got to
show.
do the intro,
Yeah, this is the
bro.
show where we talk about the problems and struggles of life, whatever is going on in your life. Because this isn't about us; it's about you, really. Well, I guess it is about us. It's about us trying to tell you that you're doing it wrong. No, I'm kidding. We're trying to tell you that you're awesome. And
You're doing it wrong, man.
a lot of times in life, we can get by just fine on our own, but it helps to have a little bit of extra perspective or input or just feedback. Um, and so that's what we're here to give. You know, we aren't professional psychologists, psychiatrists, or anything along those lines, but we can give you our best in our own life experiences to help you with your own life experiences. And that's really all we're doing here. Um,
Hmm.
we have some wisdom provided us by our experiences and by the Holy Spirit and things like that, and we can do our best to give you our best. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need someone better than us. You need a professional, and sometimes you just need to stick through it and just need a little bit of encouragement. So we're here to give you some encouragement, help you on your way, and
Hmm.
remind you that you're pretty stinking awesome. Um, and you're a human being, and um, you're worth your weight in problems. It's worth covering. It's worth covering whatever you've got going on in your life. No topic is too low or too high for us. We're happy to take any kind of topic, and
Hmm.
everybody in the chat is so loving and so caring. So it's really great to see everybody in the chat always providing some assistance as well, and just loving on everybody. So you guys are awesome. Thank you sincerely.
Hmm.
You guys are really
Hmm.
awesome. So yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the opener. And with that,
And go to don'tworrywednesday.com.
it's Kendra's birthday today. Make sure you say happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Kendra.
birthday.
I feel so honored that you would join us on your birthday.
Yeah.
Like, that's so crazy cool. Like, most people on their birthday, they're out having fun. And it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like to me, like you're having a really, really good time. And they don't even think about, like, oh, join the live stream, But here you are and you're hanging out with us and it's your birthday.
Thank
And
you.
man, it's an honor to
Yeah.
share your birthday.
Thank you for blessing us with your personal feast day.
Hmm.
Right. Awesome. Well, they've got quite the list of topics here. Thank you
We
guys.
do. We've got a lot of them now. You guys are amazing.
You guys
want
to
keep
way.
sending us more. Keep sending us more topics.
Right.
Because we want more. Go to don'tworrywednesday.com. Click the submit a topic button. There's a link. Meowlido, thank you so much for the link. You're awesome.
Thanks,
Meowlido put the link in the chat right there. You can click it. It's clickable.
It's a clickable link.
Yes. It's a clickable link. I'm going to click it right now. I'm going to see what happens. Let's see. Boom.
It is not the kind of link that chains you down. It's the kind of link that frees your soul.
It went to a page called Don't Worry Wednesday. It says, welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. Just like Ryan said at the beginning. It says, welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. And then submit a topic. So you can submit a topic. I'm going to click that button, see what happens. Oh, a little thing pops out at the side.
That's cool.
And I can fill it in.
Oh.
And I can put my name. My name is optional.
Oh, hey, optional.
And then I can do question or topic. And is it urgent or time sensitive? Do you want to be present when it's discussed? Are you a human? This is very important. You are human. I know some of you may not identify as human, but this is kind of like one of those things where it's like, this is what it filters out the bots. It's like a CAPTCHA thing. All you have to do is say, yes, I'm a human. It even says in parentheses, this is the correct answer. So we kind of helped you, like we really, really tried to help you with that answer, that question.
Yeah.
But I think we still get people who say no or maybe.
And then
we don't get the topic.
Yep.
It's too bad. But that's the correct answer. Anyway, and then you can hit the submit button, and then there it is. You have your topic.
Perfect. Perfect explanation, Joe. Thanks for walking us through it. It wasn't
so
hard after all.
It's man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'll do a tutorial.
The hardest part was the questionnaire where it's like, what's your grandma's first pet's name? You're like, what? Oh, never mind. We don't have that stupid stuff.
I don't even know my grandma's first pet's name.
I don't know either. That's why I don't think very many people do.
Hey, my favorite. Man, I love those games.
Oh, yeah. Zelda. Of course it is, Hero. That makes a lot of sense. That's a good link. Yeah.
Meowlido, you're sweet. Thank you. We can... I don't know. I just appreciate all you guys hanging out with us,
Yeah.
Sharing your Wednesday nights with us. Or Thursday mornings or whatever day and time.
Yeah, we're very grateful. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you all. So we've got a load of topics over here. We got
you keep saying that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9, though one of them's kind of a null and void, but that makes 8. So, are any of these urgent? None of them have the urgency. When you were reading through them, did any of them seem urgent to you?
None of them were like
All right. Well, let's start from the top. Meowlios, you're here, right? Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, we can choose.
We're gonna start with one of the top.
I understand, Meow. That's a busy time.
Yeah. Yeah, university's so busy. Yeah, no problem, man. Do what you need to do and do it well. I mean, that's no big deal.
Oh. We
cover one of Meow's.
Meow says cover. All right. Well, we have one from Meow.
Well, we'll do one of Meow's. We'll do the only one that we have of Meow's that we know of, because there are 2 anonymized, but I have no idea who they're from. So probably not Meowlido. So let's just pick the one we can guarantee is Meowlido and pick the one that says Meowlido on it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay, great. Good teamwork there, guys.
Yay! We made it.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit of formatting so that I can actually read it, because it's I have trouble with blocks of text sometimes. I'm just gonna put a few enters in random places. So I'm sorry if it destroys your beautiful piece.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't be destructor.
There we go. There we go. Okay, that's good enough for me. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and throw.
If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me.
This topic onto the screen. It is good enough. It's good enough for all of us, and we're gonna enjoy it. All right. I put the topic on the screen. This one is from Mialido. It is titled "Bunch of BSS." That's BOBBS.
I named it. I named it.
Bobs. BOBS. Okay. Anyways, bunch of BSS, and yeah. Thank you for this, Mialido. I'm sure that we're going to enjoy talking about it. I'm sure we're going to have a lot to say. Hopefully, we won't take too long on the topic, but just enough time, and cover everything that you want to know. But yeah, let's give it a go. And it reads as follows. Feel free to read along if you so desire. I would like both Ryan and Joe to be present for this topic. That makes sense. We're talking about BSS here, I suppose. Hey,
when both of us are here.
A dream of being a music artist, as you know. I dream of being a music artist, as you know. I am double majoring at university, and one of my majors is music industry. And I am a member of the Music Industry Association, MIA. Thing missing in action, that's great. Which had some awesome, great speakers come speak on Monday. Oh, that's awesome. I've been thinking about the music industry and my place in it. I've been learning and growing and trying to find myself. I'm figuring out how to not be so nervous about being Starshay. Starshay is my artist name. And am on my way to being ready to have my first official music release. I say all of that to set up my topic, which is me asking about BSS. I'm thinking that in addition to myself, others may like to know the information too, and how BSS can help them reach for the stars. BSS, tell us about it. We are some questions I thought of. That makes way more sense. Here are some questions I thought of. Give us an overview about your company, BSS, and what you, BSS, do for clients. Explain the process from when I tell you I want to release a project, album, EP, single, etc., to when the project is released. If I release music through BSS, does that mean that you're my record label and that I sign with BSS? Tell us about signing with BSS, aka the experience of being a BSS client. What are the pros and cons of singing and releasing through
signing.
Signing, you're
right.
What are the pros and cons of signing and releasing through BSS? Why should I pick BSS over other indie record labels and distribution services? Explain the financial aspect of being a BSS client. What's the normal range of time it takes to release a project from the moment I send it to you to the moment it is released? What does BSS offer? Does signing with you include more than just releasing music? Will I have access to my artist profiles, like to edit my bio and other things? Or will I have to ask you to do it? Will you have any restrictions of what I can release through BSS? As a client of BSS, about how long would it take for you to respond to my emails or messages? Share any other info about BSS that you think I or other Don't Worry Wednesday listeners may want to know. I may have other questions later, but these are what I thought of. Thanks. Meow. Or Starshay. Awesome. Wow. What a topic.
Thank you.
This is on the business side of things.
Oh wow. Look at us. Look at our BSS business.
We are booming. Yeah. Well, so Joe's gonna answer most of these questions because he knows, honestly, this side of the business better than I do. But of course, I can do my part as well. So, without much needing to be said, I guess I should clarify in case you guys don't know, which I'm sure everyone here in the chat does, but BSS stands for Black Static and Swerve, and it is our music and entertainment, whatever.
Media
production. Media production.
Media company. Production, record label,
publishing service. Yes, all of that. Yep. So, and cabinet making. So, anyways,
no, that's a sister
not BSS
company. I know.
It's a sister company. So
you're a sister company, Mr. Sister.
Sometimes I am the accompaniment to a sister of mine. Sometimes, yeah, that's true.
Okay, you have a sister.
I have 3.
You have a sister-in-law.
Yeah, I have a sister-in-law.
Oh, and you have 2 stepsisters.
I have 2 stepsisters. I technically have 2 ex-stepsisters as well, which I haven't talked to in forever, but
wow,
that's a total of 5
Look at you and all your sisters, man.
And then I'm also I have to say one more. I happen to be Catholic, and I've got thousands of sisters.
Thousands of sisters.
Yeah. Millions of sisters.
It's a lot of sisters.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Wait, you're
right.
Has a
and
sister?
I also have a sister through Nyan Blue. Yes, that is also my sister. And I have a brother over there too. Yeah.
Mr.
Wow.
Sister.
Mr. Sounds like, yes, Mr. Sister. Sounds like a good song. I'm excited to hear that one, Joe. Anyways, all that said, all the sisters having now been named, Joe, I'm gonna give this topic to you. I think you're gonna do splendid. So have at it. You know what?
Oh my gosh.
You could just start from where the questions start and go one by one if you want, but however you want to.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. I'm probably not gonna do. I don't know if I can do that. Like go like start to finish through all of them one by one. Okay. But I can tell you a few things. One, the BSS experience is different than most than most other record label experiences. You don't actually sign with BSS. We don't really have a contract, and in fact, it's not a as we're formulating things, we are probably putting together some legal documentation for people to sign. But a lot of the stuff we've done in the past and up until recently have mostly just been collaborations. So we produce our stuff and we collaborate with other musicians and help them produce stuff. And what you'll probably find working with BSS is that it's very frustrating.
For you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not for me.
Oh, okay.
For the artists, because we're very understaffed, and so things don't happen as quickly as you would like them to. And there are a lot of artists, and so like it's funny. Maybe it's because of the position I'm in, because I work with our artist roster and I communicate with them and get communication from them, and everybody's got their stuff they want released, and I've got all the stuff that's coming out, and I'm working as hard as I can with all the busyness that I have going on, and I'm trying to do all these things, and I'm not as fast as anybody wants me to be. Right? It's a good thing you don't move quickly either, August. All right, good. So I don't know, even though we are a label, because when you see stuff that we've released, you will see it on Spotify that we are the record label that's listed on those releases. So when Static P releases stuff, you'll see the record label is Black Static and Swerve. When Zay Music releases something, you'll see the record label is Black Static and Swerve. When John O'Taylor releases stuff under our label, you'll see that the label is Black Static and Swerve. But nobody is contractually obligated to stay with us. We don't own anybody. It's open door. You want to work with us on a project? Come work with us on a project. We will do all the paperwork, nonsense, and stuff that you don't want to do. As far as money is concerned, the company keeps 30%. Here's the deal. Most of the indie labels that I've researched keep 50%. of the money that comes in. We keep 30%. But, like, we're not in this to get rich off of a bunch of artists, right? Major labels will keep about 92% of the income, which sickens me. But, hey, is what it is, right? So the difference is, so we keep 30%, and that's just basically to manage all the stuff. We have so I handle a lot of the releases. I set up the releases, like I get the information, and it really kind of depends on what an artist needs. If an artist has something that they've recorded and produced and mixed and mastered, and they just want us to release it for them, that's great. We'll do all the releasing stuff, release it through our label, and you'll be a part of our roster, and then it's out there, right? If you need production services, we offer that. It takes a little longer, right? But you can have, if you play all the stuff, record all the stuff, and then you need it mixed and or mastered, we can do that and then also do the release. If you need musicians to play on it, we can do that too. Where we have in-house musicians that play, we and record whatever parts. We've had a handful. We have got an artist named Matt Nichols. We've got an artist named Tony Burdick. We've got an artist named Savage Tunes. These guys basically have just sung their parts. We released stuff, they sung their parts, and then the instruments were all put together by the BSS family of musicians, which includes Ryan, myself, Steve, and that's basically it. Sometimes we bring in other musicians as well to work with, but so we can record. These guys sang their parts, and then we recorded all the instruments, mixed, mastered, and set up the release and did that. And we do that all for 30%. We don't charge up front.
It's quite low for all that work.
It's ridiculous. Our business model sucks for us.
That's right.
But what we do, we're in we're not, like, of course we want to be a successful company, and we have had moderate success, right? But our success is based on the people who work with us, their success, right? So we don't do a whole lot as far as answering what are the pros and cons of signing and releasing through BSS. Pros would be you get whatever you need,
and you don't have to sign.
And you don't have to sign, and you don't have to pay any money up front.
Sure.
Most indie labels, any other label that I've ever heard of, you don't get free production. You don't get free recording studio time. You don't get free on-location recording studio time, which I've done. I've gone to someone's house and recorded them on location at their house. Set up a room in their house so they can be in their environment and feel comfortable to record, right? And then we record, capture it there, and then I go record my parts, and whoever else contributes their parts, we mix it, we master, all that kind of stuff, and we don't charge any money up front for any of that. Now, here's the thing. Some labels will say, well, we're not going to charge you up front either, and they don't, but they keep a bill. They keep a tally going of all these hours, studio hours and all that kind of stuff. And then they present you with a bill, or they take it out of your pay from them, right? So they're going to keep 50% of the revenue that comes in on your royalties and all, and your streaming income and all that kind of stuff, right? The different kinds of royalties that are out there. They're going to keep 50%. And then out of your 50%, they're going to pay themselves back for fronting the recording time, the production time, the mixing and mastering time, the da-da-da-da, all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of times, musicians, when they sign with a label, they end up in debt. At least here, I mean, you might not make a whole lot of money right off the bat, but it takes time for an artist to gain some traction. You got to go and you got to keep releasing stuff and you got to figure out how to promote yourself and you got to have something that catches. And then money starts to roll in, right? And it might take years for that to happen, but you're not in debt that whole time. We don't present you with a bill, and we also don't keep any of the proceeds back for ourselves to pay us back for that time. We provide all that up front.
There isn't a single time that we take any money from an artist other than on the royalty aspect, and that's 30% that we promise.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. And we don't, so we never take money out of the artist. We just, we keep our 30% and distribute the remaining percentage to the artist because we're managing all of that too. We're managing all of the financials from the royalties. The royalties come into us and then we pay them. And here's the other thing. We're happy to teach you how to do all this stuff yourself. We're happy to share. Hey, you want to release on your own? Do it. You don't need us. And we're happy to teach you and inform you, and we're happy to provide, we'll tell you how to mix. We'll give you information on how to get a better production. We'll get you information on how we do all this stuff. We can teach you our process for how we release and set up all these releases and all that kind of stuff. You could totally do it all yourself. But the thing I hear time and time again from artists is that they want to focus on making music. They don't want to focus on any of this other stuff. And they're so glad that we're doing that part of it. The releasing, the technical stuff, the keeping track of all the numbers, all that stuff. We do all that. And then, your stuff is out there. Now, you didn't know we did all this stuff. I didn't know we did all this stuff either.
Yeah. Half the time we forget we do all this stuff. Yeah.
I'm listing all this stuff out. I'm like, these are things that I've done. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
There's a lot of stuff we do here. And now, hey, Rising Dawn, Ellie, it's great to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neon Blue. You're right. A lot of labels don't actually market their artists, only release things for them. You're absolutely right. Some labels do. The major labels do marketing, right? And so that's why you're going to have that. They're going to keep 92%, right? Because there's money and effort that goes into marketing. And also major labels, they're tied in with touring and doing a bunch of live shows. And there's huge upfront investment for doing tours and live shows and all that kind of stuff. That's incredibly expensive. So we're not doing that. But here's the thing, you're still responsible as a musician. You're still responsible for your persona. You're still responsible for creating music. You're still responsible for promoting it yourself because we just don't have the time to promote it, right?
I wish we had a marketing team. It would be really great. But yeah, we can't afford one at the moment.
Right. That's the thing that really we need to do. We've talked about that for years, that what we really, if we're going to take a next step forward, we need to have some kind of marketing department, but we can't afford to staff ourselves right now, right? Because, so anyway, this is
we're not going under.
And so, right.
We're just stable at the moment.
we're not going under and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
We're still going to be here. But your experience with BSS, because here's the thing, you are majoring in music industry, Meow. You are part of the Music Industry Association. The way that business is done in the mainstream music industry, and as you look at that and with the things you're probably going to learn in school and all that kind of stuff, we're going to go a lot outside of the norm. And a lot of that comes down to, hey, maybe we don't sign you, we don't own you, we don't blah, blah, we collaborate with you, and we only collect money on the stuff that we release for you or with you, right? But it's an open-ended deal. Like you're not tied to us at all. We figured, if somebody wants to keep working with us, then we're doing our job. If people don't want to keep working with us, then we need to figure out how to do a better job. But we're not going to keep somebody bound by a contract and say, you need to stick with us. Never will we do that. So it's like, hey, you can come and go as you please. If you figure out somebody better who you want to work with that would do better for you, go for it. You want to do it yourself, we'll help you learn how so you can do it yourself. Because the whole goal of BSS, the entire goal when we set this up, was to make being a musician a viable career path for people. And what that means is setting people up to be successful as musicians, not setting ourselves up to succeed on the backs of musicians. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll provide as much information as we can. We'll help you in any way we possibly can. And we won't charge you. The only thing we charge is that 30% on the back end. If your stuff makes a lot of money, we'll take 30% of that lot of money. And you keep 70%. Which, as far as I can tell, in any record label deal, that's the lowest percentage that I've ever seen. And maybe I'm wrong. I could totally be wrong. And if you have other statistics, Meow, that, if there are indie labels out there keeping less of a percentage to provide all that we're providing, I want to hear about it, because I want to work with them. And I want to see what they're doing, and I want to learn how they're operating. And I want to tie into them somehow, right? But yeah, so that's kind of the basis for how it works. But I will tell you, if you were to interview, I'm scared. Yeah, we don't give you a loan to pay off either. That's right. I fear interviewing some of our artists, because I can imagine some of them are frustrated just because it takes some time, and because, it's been an absolute whirlwind, crazy whirlwind, and we've been understaffed and all kinds of things happened. And so we had to start another company. And so now that other company is taking a lot of my time. So I don't have as much time to put into putting out releases and working with the artists and doing all this kind of stuff, helping in the ways that I can normally would have helped for the last few years. Now we started a new company, and so that's taken a lot of time. So at the moment, things are a little bit in limbo, but that startup phase of the business is, I think and hope, coming to a close. So then my schedule will be more open to get back into doing more BSS releases and working with artists and doing those things that I really love doing. I really love hanging out with you guys, encouraging you guys. I really love hearing what you're doing. I really love hearing the music you guys are creating, and I really love being a part of it. And even the mundane, like setting up releases, getting all the artwork in order, getting everything together, working with you guys to figure out the genre.
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest part. That is honestly the hardest part. What genre is this? I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah. Okay, Mialido says, one of the guest speakers mentioned owns an indie record label, but I'm yet to email him and ask about his. But he does seem like a genuine good person, and that his label company is good. I can let you know about his when I ask him if you're interested. Of course. I'd love to hear what other labels are doing out there. I'd love to. And I will, it's crazy though. I will say, any other label structure that I've ever looked into, whether it's major label or indie label, we just are different. Because we don't charge up front. We offer all these services up front without cost, and we only keep 30% on the back end if your stuff is successful. That's our deal. And it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the same. So the one goal was to make music a viable career path for people, and the other goal was to disrupt the music industry as a whole because there's too much music industry making money off of other musicians and musicians not keeping the money that they're due, really, like to me, that's that. So
Yeah.
also, Mialito, also, if I go with BSS, it would be really cool to teach me production stuff, and then maybe I could help BSS with production stuff. Maybe just a thought. Sure, sure. And here's the thing, I understand that you're looking to choose who you want to work with, and and I'm not trying to tell you to come like that. We're so much better, and you need to come with us. If you find a better deal, go work with them. And if you want to do it yourself, do that too. I'm not here to try and sell you BSS services because we got enough.
Yeah.
We're already backed up and swamped, and it's like, I don't need, like, I don't want to sound like a jerk by saying, oh, well, we don't need anybody, but it's like, but we're not. We're not trying to.
We do need people because we're understaffed, but we also don't need to. We're not trying to sell anybody on anything that isn't good for them, because that's for them to figure out.
Exactly. So, I mean, I understand it, and I'd love to work with you. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you. I'd love to get to be your friend and be your colleague. I would love that. That'd be wonderful, right? But the relationship that we would have is a lot different than any relationship you would have with another label, because another label is going to keep more of a percentage of your royalties, and they're going to charge you money for the production. It's just the nature of how it works. So anyway, I don't know. That's what I got for now. I'm gonna turn it back over to Ryan. Ryan, what's your experience?
Oh goodness, I mean, my experience is wild. Who knows? BSS is an interesting company because we're, I suppose, part of what makes us stand out in any bit. I mean, there's a lot of things that make us capable of holding our own. I won't say wildly successful by any stretch of the imagination, but enough that we're a viable business to some extent, right? Or to an extent, meaning, we're not quite where we want to be yet, and we might never be, but the goal is much higher than where we are at right now, by many legions. But at the same time, we're all right. We're able to stand our ground without. I mean, we've never been bankrupt. We never went under. We've never been in the negative ever. So we've been very blessed. Part of what makes that work is the fact that we have an amazing staff. We have Kyle, my brother, who is good with numbers. We're all very loyal and good friends. And so all of us feel like we can trust each other, and therefore we all do. And that makes things really easy. None of us want to go out of our way just spending money on stuff that we don't need. We talk about pretty much anything that's going to be a big expense. And if it's something that is business related, we do our research. And then everybody, like whoever is involved with the process, usually my brother, will do research on top of it and then figure out, is this a necessary buy, or is it something we can go around? Or what's the best product for this? Or what's the best bang for our buck and stuff like that. So one of the things is managing finances and all that kind of stuff for the business is having good people that have a heart for each other and a heart for the world and a heart for the artists. And I think that BSS was founded on the idea that we can make a difference in the world, and it continues, and it's always been that, and it always will be that. Whenever there's any moment where that starts to lose its ground, someone always chimes up. It's usually me, but it's not always. That, hey, we got to make sure we're steering this in the direction that's that's going to help people the most, and not get carried away with how much money we can make or how much fame we could have or whatever. All that stuff is fine and good, but at the end of the day, what's the point of having a business if you don't do something good in the world? So that's always our stance, trying to make the world a better place in whatever ways that we can. And that comes in many different packages and sizes, as Joe just explained, his many roles. And we've all had many roles throughout our time here at BSS. So it's fun and it's interesting, but yeah, it's different. I'd say it's very different, like Joe said, than the normal experience. But that's good. I think it's important to be different to some degree. I mean, if you're the same as everybody else, then obviously you're not going to stand out. But also, you don't challenge the things that need to be challenged in order to be successful. A lot of times, if we go with the flow, obviously entrepreneurs are kind of naturally people who go against the grain, usually. But going against the grain can be very rewarding. It can also be very difficult. But part of the difficulty is what makes it rewarding. And if you stand your ground on things, things might eventually work for you, you know? That's the way things go, persistence over time. But yeah, so Joe did a good job of explaining all the stuff we do for our clients, and I guess all the different stuff we do in total. It's quite a lot. And so it's really great to be a part of it, even though many times I feel like I don't probably contribute enough, but yeah, it's great. And I'm going through these questions, and I think Joe really answered all of them. Yeah.
There's a few on here. I see. Okay.
What's the pros and cons of signing with VSS? I will say, Joe had already said, we might not be as fast, and we don't give you the marketing stuff. The pros are we actually care about you, like you're actually a human being, and we treat you like one, and we honor you like one. We keep your dignity intact. We never do anything that would bring your dignity into question or into mind. We always allow you can leave whenever you want. There's no contract. We don't own any of your stuff. Just the only thing we have is whatever we release together. Is we take 30% of that, and we'll go above and beyond for all the other stuff. So, but yeah, the cons are we don't have marketing yet, and we don't have necessarily the staffing to be constantly available for you. So sometimes you might have to wait your turn for us to get back to you, and that's a real shame, but it is what it is. I mean, that's just what happens. One person can't handle 20 people and then also a whole other side business. So we're working on that. That's probably one of the first things we're gonna be hopefully solving when we can get to it. But obviously things take time. So that's the
we have BSS staff meeting tomorrow. We'll be addressing all these issues.
Perhaps. If we don't get carried away talking about chickens and chocolate or whatever, who knows? That's part of the fun of being friends, Our staff meetings are never well, every once in a while they're a bit intense, but they're not intense in a scary way or anything. It's just intense and like, wow, okay, we're gonna walk away from this one and be thinking and try to come back for the next one with a lot of information. But but I guess all I really want to say is, BSS has always had it in mind to make the world a better place, and that's with each individual. That's not lumping up a bunch of money and then spending it in the right places, though that's important. More so, it's literally how we deal with everybody we can encounter, and Joe is an excellent face of that experience. And
thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. And I mean, you've all talked to, you probably, almost all of you have talked to me behind the scenes in a regular, just non-business aspect, just friendly chatter. And you pretty much everybody at BSS is you're going to get the same experience. Someone who's willing to talk to you about pretty much anything, and love on you, and always care about what you have to say. And I think that's so amazing. So one thing that I guess BSS that it's different than other record labels is that all of our hearts are in that place. Whereas in other businesses, I guess you never know what you're going to get. You have one person there has their heart in a good place, and another person that has their heart in the bad place on the same team working together. I guess you never know. Some people are really awesome and they care about you and they'll go above and beyond, and some people won't. And so what you get here at BSS is genuine people who genuinely care about the world, who care about you, and who care about people who want to make this world a better place. And that starts with making your life better however we can. And so yeah, I think that's really the main difference about BSS than every other company, even though we are also a publishing company, which most record labels are not. And we are also a company that does all these other things that most other record labels don't do without at least charging a price. So yeah, that's what I can say about it. We love. Yeah, we love. There we go. That's what we care about. We love, and that's what makes BSS really good, and different. But don't expect us to come up with get quick rich schemes or anything like that for you, because well, right now we don't have a marketing team, and also the money is obviously, a business is about making money, but a business is also about what does the business do for the world and for the people, and what is the business's business in this world. Like a business should have a purpose in the world. If it doesn't, if the only purpose of business is to make money, I mean, that's not shameful, but at the same time, it's not much. Not doing much other than making money, I guess. And then I don't know what use that is, but just turning numbers over. So I think that that's the last thing that makes BSS different, is we're not really concerned about just turning numbers over and figuring out where the economy is going and all that kind of stuff. And perhaps to some extent that's why we're not rich, but also some extent that's also why we are rich. Our relationships and the people that are loyal to BSS company, including people who have never even worked with us, because they can just see our hearts and who we are, and we put it out there, and people are attracted to that. So there's a lot of people who throughout the years have wanted to work for BSS. I mean, all the way running back all the way to 2009, 2010, there have been people who are just like, hey, put me on staff if you can. And I'm like, well, I would love to. We really, really, really wish we could. But eventually we'll be able to. But my point isn't to say good luck. My point is to say that however you want to do business, Meowlido, however you want to carry out your business, whether you want to join up with someone or make your own business, that's all good. And I guess whatever you decide to do, you're an awesome person. So, and you have such a love for other people and such love for the world that you're in, and you're really great with other people. So I think you have a lot going for you, and that aspect of you can be utilized to create the most loyal customers you'll ever have in the world. And you won't call them customers because they're all going to be friends. And they're going to stick with you for years and years and years and years, even if you put nothing out. because I mean, I am a testament to that. Everybody here knows I can wait like 2 years and put a song out, and people just people adore the Static P franchise. People adore BSS, and they always will, even if we haven't talked in a long time, because our main thing is how we can actually touch people's hearts, help love grow in this world, and so on and so forth. So it's like, that's how you create a base of loyalty among coworkers and customers and friends and everybody, that will carry you to success. Because without that, we don't have any success. That is the success to our name, is that that loyalty. That, I mean, we didn't ask for any out of anybody. People just freely give it because we freely give ours. We freely give our loyalty to other people, and people freely give theirs to us. And we recognize that in this world, marketing, it's not like we're trying to figure out how do we market the best. Oh, be loyal. It's not really like that, because that's just how our hearts are. But the reality is, if people don't like you anymore, you're going to have a hard time being in business. So we're very blessed and lucky that we have so many kind hearts on our team, and a lot of people who want to be on our team, who are still waiting to be on our team, and we hope that they just step up and make it happen, because if you can find a way to make, if you can find a way to that, you're making money for and with us, and then we're like, we can't like get rid of you. We're like, all right, well, like, you're on the team, I guess. Here you are. You make yourself an asset, then there you go. Like, that sometimes that's all we can do. That's how we created this business in the first place. We made ourselves assets. We put ourselves in positions where we were starting to make some money, and we couldn't be replaced anymore, by anything. And it's like, well, that's a part of this now. And so, I don't know. I kind of got derailed there, but regardless, yeah. Changing people's hearts, getting into people's hearts and making a difference. You create people who will be with you for a lifetime, continuing to support you and buy your products, and listen to the new artists that come out, even though you don't know if they don't know if they're gonna like it or not, or they'll listen to your songs even if you put one out a year, and then they're like, oh wow, hey, they put out another song, and they get fully excited about it, and they're on board, So, yeah, creating that loyalty is huge, and I guess that's what the main thing that BSS has over any other company in the world, as far as, well, not over it. I'm not saying we're over any other company in the world. That's not an accurate statement. But one thing it has over many companies in the world is that deep loyalty, because we spend time getting deep with people, and we don't mind being in the trenches with people. We don't mind getting in it deep with people and having relationships with people that are honest and not work related, but like just like they're actually human relationships, not just customer relationships. So
right,
that's the difference maker in BSS. And I don't know where you're going to find that in other places too, but I just don't know where. And and it's not going to be the same, but that doesn't mean it won't be better. All we can do is whatever we're doing. There are other people out there doing good in the world too, and we recognize that. And we're not going to say we're better than them, because, quite frankly,
well, we're not.
We're probably not.
We're not better. We're different.
Yeah, we're just different. We're a different group of people doing different stuff. So, yep, that's what I got to say on the matter of the business. Obviously, mine's less business and more heart, but there you have it.
Well, and Ellie, Rising Dawn Studios, says that's not just a business at that point. That's family, and that's absolutely right.
Yeah,
absolutely right. Because that's how we treat each other, and people that work with us. We don't have anybody that works for us. And I don't know, even if we have people on staff, like on a payroll, that are actually our employees and all this kind of stuff, I still don't think I would ever say they work for us. I would always say they're working with us, because here's the
Oh
thing.
yeah, that's so weird. Yeah.
We're going to be working right alongside anybody,
Yeah.
you know? That's kind of how it works here. You know, we work right along with people.
Yeah, we're all working together to make it work. So
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So I do see a couple of questions that we have not answered.
Okay.
Will I have access to my artist profiles, like to edit my bio and other things, or will I have to ask you to do it? No, you will have access. You will not have to ask us to do it. Now, here's the thing, like, it will take one release. If you've already released stuff and you have a profile on like Spotify or whatever, then you should already have access to it. If it's our first release together, then we need to get permission, and we need to get the connection through our distributor to have you have access to like your Spotify, all that kind of stuff, and you will have total access to all that stuff. We just have to make the initial connection and then get you connected to it. Once that happens, and it doesn't take long, then you can do whatever you want. You can change, edit, whatever, anything on there.
Yeah, we don't want to take away anyone's ability to market themselves or present themselves how they want to be presented. Like, that's the you that you need to put out there as an artist. People don't just connect to your music. They connect to who you are as a person, as a personality. So yeah, that's important for us and for you to be able to do that.
Yeah. And then do we have restrictions of what you can release through BSS? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
If it's like gratuitously like nasty, like a swear word every other word and just unnecessary evil stuff, then we're probably not going to release it. If it's something that's, if we feel like if we putting something out would be putting something that would be damaging to people, then we're probably not going to release it.
Yep.
Well, does that make sense?
Perfectly said.
Because like Ryan said in his talk, we want to do something good for the world. We want to be good for the world. We want to be creating and promoting stuff that's good. Now, it doesn't always have to be squeaky, super duper clean. It doesn't have to not ever have a swear word in it. But here's the thing. Like, if it's promoting a whole bunch of stuff that is going to damage people, then we're probably not going to put that out. Right? But here's the thing we understand about the world. The world is messy. The world is crazy, and to try and Pollyanna affect the world, meaning like if we're just going to be like, oh, everything is just beautiful and wonderful and and we're just going to be super happy clappy all the time. That doesn't serve the world. There is such a thing out there as toxic positivity. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but there is. And it's like disregarding anything that's bad.
Yeah, or there's another one of that too. There's another form of toxic positivity. Wow, I can't get myself. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Hello, I want to be on the screen, please. All right.
What's up, ya boy?
There we are. All right, I'll just press buttons now. Okay.
Ya boy, Tomato.
Oh, hey, Tomato. Welcome. What? Oh, positive toxicity. Toxicity. Wow. Another toxic form of
positivity.
That. Toxic positivity.
Positive toxicity.
Yes.
They're kind of the same thing, probably, right?
Yeah. Whatever one of those things you want to talk about. Here we are. I just wanted to say, there's another form of that, and that is when, obviously, you said a complete disregard for stuff, but when you use it as a tool to I'm not going to point fingers at anybody with this, but everyone will know what I'm
point fingers.
About. Everybody will know what I'm talking about.
I'm pointing my finger.
There are certain businesses and or faith-related mega churches or whatever that say, if you only believed in God more, everything would be perfect in your life, kind of stuff. And that can be, and there are businesses built around that. Treating people like they say things like that to you in their business models. And so all that can also be toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like a
Mm-hmm.
disregard for reality. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. So like that, but that's the limit. Like,
Hmm.
so like to restrict, basically, you know, we've released stuff whatever. We've got stuff with an E in the thing because
Yeah.
it's got a swear word or two in there, right? But it's like whatever. But here's the thing: we're not going off on all kinds of super like sexual content, gratuitous sexual content. We're not going off on all kinds of like crazy stuff that's going to awaken sinful stuff or evil in people, right?
Right. Right.
Our goal is to help. Our goal is to create something that's good. And, but not to shy away from stuff that's in the world and share like cuz yes,
I mean, everyone's listening
there's
to Static P here, probably. All that.
mhm.
I mean, Criminal Idol is about literally kids at a high school getting bombed. I mean, terrible things happen, and that's
Mhm.
reality. And so, how do we confront those terrible things? That's a lot of times what the music of Static P is about, confronting
Mhm.
those things. So, we don't
Yep.
shy away.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
yeah,
So yeah, but
we
that's
don't
that's basically the
we
restriction.
don't
How
glorify
long will
the
it
things.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yes.
difference.
Absolutely. How long would it take to respond to your emails or messages? That depends. That depends on what's going on. It could,
Hey,
we
James.
try and respond quickly, but could take a week. I don't know. It just kind of depends. So we're busy people, and I'm sorry for that. Um, and it may seem that we're a bit disorganized, and it's just that we're busy. So I tell you, I'm proud of you, Meow. I'm proud of you for taking on this major and
Hmm.
learning about the music industry. And you're learning about a business that is, I don't know, man, it's been around for half a century, probably more. It's been actually probably a century. Um like as far as recording music has gone, recording and selling music. I mean, this industry has been around for at least a century. And there's been a lot of changes, and now with streaming in here, we're seeing this whole explosion of do-it-yourself musicians, and you can totally just produce and release stuff on your own and be totally fine, and you can make a business out of it. Now, here's the thing: whatever you want to do with music, you can do on your own.
Yeah.
You can. And in fact, that's generally the way that you would get the attention of a label to be signed to a label. Is you would have to do a whole bunch of stuff on your own. You'd have to go and play live shows. You'd have to create press packs. You'd have to create recording. You'd have to do all these things cost money, lots of money. Now we live in an age where you can get some free music production software and you can record yourself. You need to buy some equipment if you want it to sound decent, and you need to learn how to use the software and the equipment that you have. Do that. You can record and you can release anything, and then you can promote it on social media. You can do all kinds of stuff, and you can do it all yourself. You absolutely can. But there's a lot of aspects that people just don't want to do, and that's where we fit in. And a lot of it's like the little grunt work of, releasing stuff. Putting together the releases, doing all that kind of stuff, making sure I have everything in order, and then tracking all the numbers and blah, 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 doing all that back end stuff that nobody wants to do. People just want to make music, and we want to help people do that. That's why we're here.
Hmm.
But we're not in this to own musicians. We're not in this to create some kind of, situation where you owe us anything. It's like, no, what we want to do is we want to help you succeed. And as you succeed, we'll get 30% of the success that you share with us. That's basically it. But and we're not going to own your songs either.
Mm-hmm.
That's all yours. So you create something original, it's yours. You own the copyright. But we'll set up all the stuff and do the release and say that you own the copyright.
That's right. So if someone goes up to you and they're like, "Hey, can I use your song? I wanted to do a cover." You can answer that. You don't have to come to us.
Do a cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the deal. Do a cover, release it through DistroKid. DistroKid will take care of all of the licensing you need to do in order to make sure that cover is legal. It'll cost you $12 a year per song.
True.
As long as you want to keep the song up, it'll be $12 a year to handle all the licensing. And that's if DistroKid does it for you. If you do it yourself and you make the personal contact with the Harry Fox agency to get the licensing to do a cover song, and you keep all this money in escrow to pay the original artist the 9% or 7% of whatever that they're coming to you, and you keep track of all those numbers, and you keep the money on the side, and you pay it out and do all that kind of stuff, it'll still cost you $16 a year for that, and you have to do all that extra work. If you have DistroKid handle it, it only costs you $12 a year, and they handle all that stuff. So if you do a cover song, release it through DistroKid.
That's a win.
Yes. Anyway, this video is not sponsored. You're exactly right. No, but we are happy DistroKid clients. We have a label account with DistroKid, and we pay a larger annual fee than an artist would because we have a label.
Yeah.
So,
but then we also are publisher now too. So that means.
That means we pay more money to other agencies.
We do have contact with Harry Fox and all the other ones.
Yep. Harry Fox, ASCAP, BMI. Well, not BMI yet. Until actually, we did start working with a BMI artist.
Okay.
So we're gonna learn that, but we also have global people. So like Jono, he needs to be. His wouldn't be with ASCAP. His would be with PRS. I believe Performance Rights Society or something in Great Britain.
Wow.
Every country has their own. And we looked into that. There's 8 different kinds of royalties.
You guys don't worry about it. We're gonna be done with the topic now. I think that'd be good. Thank you, Melido. This is a great topic. Obviously, you knew we would probably be able to talk a long time on it. It's our business, so yeah. We spend a lot of time here. But yeah, Joe. Basically, what you can get out of that is Joe is a rock star. He's amazing and he's incredible. That's what we are, who we do, what we're is. Thank you so much, Mialido, for the question. I hope that was helpful in any regard to what you were looking for information and your future.
Yeah. And keep in touch, man. I would love to hear about what you're learning.
Yeah.
Because basically what I know about the music industry is stuff that I've looked into and studied on my own, and I've looked into different deals, and I've looked into how the business works, and I did take some courses in college about business like music management, the legal side of music, all these kinds of different things. So I've learned through that, but it would be great to hear some of the stuff you're learning. I would love that. Yeah.
Hey, Ellie, I saw you message awesome. in Discord, and we'll do our best to respond to that. Also, we do have other topics, but we have 30 minutes. So if you have a question related to this, you can either ask it right now and we'll tell you if you should make a topic about it, or you can just go make a topic about it on the don'tworrywednesday.com.
Tomato. My bass lines slap you harder than I slap that bass. I don't even know how to play slap bass, so yeah, I would hope it slaps you harder than I slap the bass because I don't slap it.
You don't slap.
I can't slap yet. I don't know how.
I love a slap though. It sounds awesome.
I do too. I need to learn how to do that, and I don't know how. And when am I gonna learn how?
Well, you gotta. Yeah, you need time. All right. Well, we've got some anonymous ones.
Sure.
Would you mind going down
Let's
those?
do one. Let's do one. Yeah.
Okay.
I would mind actually.
Okay. We've got two. One's called "Feeling Sad Lately."
Make noises and break strings.
Yeah, break the strings. That'll make that weird sound you want going for. I'll hold a pitch too.
Oh.
We've got "Feeling Sad Lately" or "Goodbyes." Which one would you rather?
Me?
Yeah. Or the chat. Chat, do you have any vote on that? "Feeling Sad Lately" or "Goodbyes"?
Yeah, those are the titles from our anonymized.
Yeah, those are two. We have a lot of topics.
Feeling sad lately and goodbyes from the anonymized.
Okay, feeling sad.
Super Neon Blue says sad.
All right, we'll just go with that one. Thank you. And all right. Sad. Oh, rising down
for sad.
Okay. Thanks, Ellie. Yeah, please, if you have more questions about the PSS stuff, please feel free to go to don'tworrywednesday.com and ask. And we'll do another topic, or you can private message us. That's possible too.
We can talk business like all day long.
Yeah.
Well, I can.
I mean, I'd rather not, to be honest. But can. We've done that. Yeah. We've been there many times.
We've lived BSS for the last 14 years.
Yeah. That's right. Don't be sad. It's worry Wednesday. Oh, worry won't Wednesday.
Don't sad be. Wednesday. It's worry won't Wednesday.
How did I never think of that? We could have. I mean, I didn't make the show up, but how did I never think about won't worry Wednesday? Wow.
It's worry won't Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, but could change don't for won't.
But we're not going to do that anymore.
No, we won't. Don't
do it. We won't change don't to won't.
We won't and we don't. We don't and we won't. All right, let's do this topic. This is feeling sad lately.
How about that?
From Anonymous.
Yeah, let's do that one.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the old topic. Stop.
Your hand hurts. I'm sorry, Meow, but I admire that you would take so many notes. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Thank you for being so diligent and interested.
You absolutely honor us by doing that, man. You're amazing.
All right. Yes, you are, Miyamoto. Okay, so this is from. Excuse me. Oh, I've got the wrong one up. Been doing that all day today. Here we are.
How did Princess get up there?
Because that's an old one that just existed on my board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Blast from the past, man.
That's right. So, well, things happen. This is once again feeling sad lately from Anonymous, and it reads as follows: I've been feeling kind of sad lately, and I can't seem to find why. I've lost motivation to things that I do regularly. Yeah. Been feeling kind of sad lately. I can't seem to find out why, and I've lost motivation to things that I do regularly. From Anonymous. Thank you. Oh, there you are. Thank you for this topic, Anonymous. And yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously, you're anonymous, so you're not putting your name out, but feel free to talk to us or anybody in the chat. Sometimes that does a lot of good, just being able to spend time with someone and hash it out, or maybe not even hash it out, just have an experience where you're hanging out with somebody. Can be revitalizing, but it can also be draining. It depends on the person, and sometimes you think you're one person and you find out, no, I actually did need that person on person time. So it's worth a shot. It says Ryan, yeah. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for joining. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, Myung. But yeah,
And
feeling
Mialado
sad.
too.
And Mialado, yes, because you guys are both eating dinner. That makes sense. Bye bye, Mialado. Um, so, when you can't find out why you're sad, it is good to have a little bit of powwow with somebody that you can trust to have a good conversation with about it. Um, and they might not be able to tell you why either, but it can sort of open up your mind and perspective. Another thing you can do is journal. If you write it down, that can be a big help. Just whatever way, whether it's talking verbally, out loud, audibly, or writing it down in a journal or onto the computer or something, anything to get it out of you. And then you can play it back to yourself in some way. That can be really helpful because then if you're able to study it and figure out a little bit more. I can't guarantee that's going to help. Sometimes we just need a professional to look into it. We aren't capable, especially because you're anonymous here as well, but we aren't capable to have that kind of one-on-one with you where we can go step by step and figure out why for you or with you. A therapist might be able to do that as long as they're good and care about you. Which I know that can be a struggle sometimes, but they're out there. And that's why I said, why don't you try a friend at first? See how that goes. But I think personally, it's always good to have time for introspection. Whenever I feel ways that I don't want to be feeling, just taking a moment to be away from everything and just think and pray and think and figure myself out. Having that alone time is huge, but sometimes even that is not really helpful. So yeah, I'm going to give it over to Joe. I know Joe's been through this experience. I think I have. I mean, I know I have too. I think we all probably have gone through this type of experience before. So know that you're not alone, and that you're in good company. All of us probably have had this experience. So we all might have different approaches, but don't feel like yours is unsolvable. And this isn't going to last forever. This is just a time, and we'll get there. And sometimes it's a hormone thing and it just lasts for a month, and sometimes it's actually something more deep down that you need to figure out and start solving, and you're going through this process for a reason, and that is so that you can come out on the other side and be better, and have healing in areas that have needed healing for a long time. There's all sorts of different reasons you might be going through this, but whatever it is, try to look towards what's good, and what good can come from it, because I know that can be hard in the moments that you're in it, but it brings us hope, and hope brings us strength and motivation. So practice hope. At the very least, practice hope. With that said, I'm going to get out of the way, and I'm going to have Joe do his part, because again, like I said, he's been through it. So yeah.
I've been through it. I continue to go through it. We all do, right?
Yep.
We experience these things. So like Ryan said, you are not alone, Anonymous. And I really, really appreciate you bringing this topic to us. It's not always easy to admit that something is going on in our lives. And so I really, so just the fact that you were willing to admit it, that's a step. But here's the thing. So I've learned a lot, as I've journeyed through some pretty severe stuff. And sometimes it's easier, some days are easier, some days are harder. So it just kind of depends, right? And and that's not to downplay anything that anybody else has been through, because we've all hit our capacity of basically the limit to how much we can take. We've all hit that limit. And every time we hit that limit, we feel like we're at our wit's end, and it's hard, right? And so just because maybe I have more years of experience under my belt, so I hit my limit maybe is farther, it's still my limit, and your limit is still your limit. And so like when you hit that limit, it's like you're done. Right? And that's okay. So here's some things that I've learned to take away from these experiences. There are some things. Okay, so your topic says I've been feeling kind of sad lately. I can't seem to find why. I've lost motivation to do things that I do regularly. So if you don't understand why, Ellie, Rising Dawn Studio says life sometimes hits hard and it's okay to have bad days when you're demotivated and sad. It is okay. It's okay to have those days. You don't always have to be like clicking on all cylinders every day, right? You know, you don't have to be like super amazing, awesomely going super every day. It doesn't have to be that way. So, but here's some things you can ask yourself if you're trying to figure out like, why do I feel sad? I don't understand. You know, here's some things that you can kind of check off. Here's a little list for you. How much sleep are you getting? Because that can affect your mood, right? Mm-hmm. They say for the longest time I got 4.5 hours of sleep every night, and that turned out to not be enough. I ended up depressed. So they say 7 to 9 hours, right? Is good. You know, that's a healthy amount of sleep. So how much sleep are you getting? Maybe you need to get more sleep. Maybe you need to get less sleep, because sometimes we can sleep too much too, right? So, but that's a good target to shoot for, 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, or within a 24-hour period, right? So that's one. Next up, how much water are you drinking? And I know we talked about how much water you're supposed to drink. You know, they say like 8-ounce glasses of water every day, and Ryan was like, "That's just obnoxious." I'm like,
literally
maybe
impossible.
it is. I don't know.
Literally impossible for me. I would be expelling that water out of my system if I tried to do that. My body would not be able to handle that.
It's okay, right? And so maybe you need to drink more water, but that's another thing. So like maybe drink more water. If you're feeling sad, maybe you are dehydrated. That's definitely a possibility, right? What kind of food do you eat? And you don't have to eat a lot. You don't have to be a glutton and eat a ton of stuff. But what kinds of foods are you eating? Are you eating healthy foods? Are you eating junk foods all the time? Those can affect our mood. So like these kinds of things, these physical attributes of how our day is going, they can affect us mentally, right? And then how much are you moving? How much are you like, you don't have to like be a super gym bro or anything like that. Like you don't have to like go that crazy or be a gym rat. Well, I can't remember what's the good one. There's gym bros and gym rats, and one of them's good and one of them's not good.
The word rat is usually associated with really good things. So I'm guessing gym rat is the good one.
I think gym rat's the good one, and gym bros like the poser, right? I don't know. Like, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to like spend a whole bunch of money on a gym membership and go crazy, you know. But just maybe go for a walk, do some stretching, do something, right? Move your body, you know, to some degree. So because those things can affect our mental state. Here's the thing, though. While you're going through this, understand emotions are like the weather. They will change. They always do. Sometimes they stick with us for a while, but it will change. And so there's two big failures I see in this. There's two big points of view that I've espoused both in my lifetime, and I've seen other people espouse both, and both are extreme. They're to the extreme wrong. One extreme is, oh, emotions are everything, right? And like my feelings are the most important thing, and how I feel is everything, and da da da. Like that's too far, right? Emotions are like the weather; they come and they go, they change, right? How you feel right now is not how you're going to feel always. It will change. And it's crazy because I also sometimes I talk to people and they'll like whatever emotion they're having in the moment, it's like they act like that's all of their entire life is this moment of emotion. And maybe like they're super excited one moment. And so like everything is just great and fantastic and just like everything. Oh man, whoa, yeah, just go crazy. This is amazing. And then when they're hit a little bit of a hard spot, like, oh, everything is awful and it's always been awful and there's never any hope ever and no hope, nothing ever. And it's like, dude, like you're kind of being overly dramatic here. And like feelings aren't everything. Okay? They're not. The other error I see is there are people who are like, they totally disregard feelings completely. They're like, oh, well, that's just stupid. That's just a feeling. It's just stupid. You know, like you need to pay attention to what's actually happening and what's in reality, and feelings aren't reality. And so they'll go into this, you know, they'll be like, well, don't let a feeling, you know, affect your decision, but they always do.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings always affect our decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just have to
It's
try to logic yourself
and
try to logic yourself into feeling good about one line of logic.
Right. Exactly.
Over another.
So, but I see these two extremes, and both extremes are wrong because we kind of fit somewhere in the middle. Feelings play a hugely important part of our lives, but they're like the weather, and they change. They come and they go. And if you don't like the weather right now, we just wait around a little while, and it'll change. It'll be okay. Now, if you have a persistent sadness going, you're saying, I've been feeling kind of sad lately. And I mean, we all go through those times of feeling kind of sad. You can pay attention to what's going on in your life. Maybe you have a lot of stress. Maybe there's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe, I mean, I have no idea all the things that are going on in your life. And we all have, you know, we have professional lives, we have personal lives, we have social lives, we have all these different aspects of our life, our spiritual lives, you know, and some of these things, we don't even know what's going on. We can't even see it. We just feel it, right? Like I'm a Catholic, and so I know and believe that there's a spiritual battle going on all around us all the time. And so sometimes when we have an inexplicable bad feeling, it could be some form of spiritual warfare that's going on. And so so at that moment, what Ryan said briefly in what he was just talking about was like he sits and finds some time to be silent and pray. Maybe that's something you need to do, because if it's inexplicable, there could be some aspect of spiritual warfare that's affecting you, and some prayer would do you a lot of good right then. It would help to fix it. And I would, you know, I mean, I'm a Catholic, so I'm going to say, you know, I've found a lot of comfort in the Hail Mary prayer. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. That simple little prayer. And I mean, people will be like, oh, well, you're worshiping Mary. No, I'm not. It's asking a saint to pray for me, right? But you're saying all these kind of stuff. Yes, it's flowery language, and it's directly out of the Bible anyway. So, like, give it a rest. So but anyway, these things can be comforting to us. And when we find these moments of comfort, they can help diminish the sadness, right? I've always found I feel better when I'm active, when I'm doing things, when, you know, like I like working with my hands. I like doing things, you know, I'll play instruments, keeps my hands busy, right? I find I feel better when I'm doing things physically. If I'm sitting and thinking, now there's value in that too. I do take moments where I sit and I think. But if I do that too long without actually going and doing something physically, then I'll find myself getting more and more into sadness. When I'm active physically, I feel better. And it doesn't have to be exercise, it could just be tinkering with something. It could be fixing an instrument. It could be restringing my guitar. It could be putting new heads on my drum set. It could be sanding a piece of wood until it no longer exists. Whatever, right? But just doing something helps my mind. So then when I have those moments of contemplation, when I'm silent, when I'm still, when I'm meditating, all that kind of stuff, it's a lot more fruitful and it goes a lot better and it's a lot more positive if I have a regular, where I'm going back and forth and I know that I'm actively doing things as well as spending time in contemplation. So you can take a look at some of those things. Your sadness could be brought on by all kinds of different stuff. You could be under a lot of stress. There could be a lot of things going on. There could be a relationship issue. There could be money issue. There's so many things. Health. Yeah, absolutely.
It could be the season.
Yep. Absolutely. But our emotions, just understand, if you're feeling sad, it's okay to feel sad. But it's not forever. You've been happy before, and you'll be happy again. It'll come. But these are moments that we all live through. Our lives are peaks and valleys, right? We have moments of highs, moments of lows, and we go through them. We can affect it. We can try and make the most out of the sad times so our happy times are happier and we last there longer. We can use those sad times as introspection where we really, really learn a lot about ourselves. Those things are valuable too. So it's not a waste. And it's not like there's something wrong with you because you're feeling sad. It's okay. You're okay. And it's going to change because our emotions always do. But you can take a look at those things, go back and listen to the list of things, how much sleep you're getting, how much water you're drinking, what kind of food are you eating, and how much are you moving. Those kinds of things. They can all affect our mentality. And so if you're deficient in one of those, like if you're not doing enough of one of those or multiple of those, that could be a reason. And then it might fix it to just get more sleep or drink more water or go for a walk or whatever, right? So another thing that also helps is try and think of things that you're thankful for. And they can be really, really simple and silly, like chocolate pudding or indoor plumbing or something, something we all take for granted. Electricity. Glass. Yeah. All that stuff. But anyway, okay, I've talked enough. I'm turning it over to Ryan. He's gonna have better things to say.
I'm not so sure about that. Joe, I think you did a really good job. It's hard when we don't know.
I think you did a really good job.
We also don't know necessarily. Well, not necessarily. We also really don't know even the start of why you might be feeling kind of sad lately. We just know that we've all been sad and that we've all gone through spurts, and probably every one of us has gone through a spurt of, I don't know why I feel sad, but here I am. How do I deal with it, and where's it coming from, and how do I solve it? It's interesting to us, or to me, that we have emotions that we relate to. I don't like this. Sadness is a discomfort. It's a feeling of not liking something in a way. Being something in the world that you don't, perhaps it could be that something's in the world that you don't like the way it is, and that can make you sad. Like if someone passes away, or if you lose something dear to you, or if you have to deliver some sad news, that might just make you sad also, and anxious or whatever. There's many things in this world that can make us sad, and sometimes it's also that spiritual battle, and we don't know where it comes from, or we do know where it comes from. Sometimes we invite things into our lives from the things that we do. Everything you do invites something into your life. All right, I'm just going to say it like this. Everything you do invites something into your life, right? Everything has a consequence to some degree. And you might be doing things with your time. For example, maybe listening to a specific type of music, or watching a certain type of video, or interacting with certain types of people, or just pursuing different ideas in your mind, or whatever it is, that can have the consequence of creating sadness in your mind. And it can be like not something that's there because there's nothing in your life that's sad, but it's something there in your mind because sadness is there in your mind. It's an emotion you're capable of, and it can arise out of, well, I'll just say this. This is an interesting thing. Emotions are reactions to things, right? However, what they really are is subconscious. How do I say this? Something in your brain triggers a response, and that response is an emotion, okay? And it's a subconscious thing. It's not something you control, but that subconscious thing is put into effect by recording the world around you and exhibiting those same behaviors as you see others do, or as you have done in the past. So what they are, all the subconscious stuff is basically habits. Stuff your brain has memorized so that it can execute to aid you. But not everything that is a habit actually aids you. And so our brain can work against ourselves. And so in some scenarios, you might find, this is a classic example. You see three people. One calls both of them stupid. They both receive it very differently. One person sees that as a challenge, and they're like, they get all fired up. Another person gets sad and walks away as just sad, right? Or one person goes, wow, I feel bad for you if you feel like you need to call people stupid. Like, what's going on here? The other person gets angry and it's like, I need to beat you up or something. Right? We can have all sorts of different reactions, and some of them are immediate because that's what our brain tells us, or is recorded to respond with. But we can always interact with that. We can always put a stopper on that before we actually act and decide if that emotion is even appropriate. And so likewise, you might not know why you're sad, but you might be feeding yourself sad things. And now your habitual response to literally nothingness, literally nothing is triggering you. So your default spot right now is being sad. Or maybe something like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, you have a list of things to do, and you realize, I don't want to do any of those things. You can feel sad because your response to that, your emotional response to having a list of things that you don't want to do, might be sadness. For other people, that might be stress. For other people, that might be excitement because it's a challenge that they want to overcome. For other people, that might be an experience of like, well, then how do I? It's like an experience of intuitive, or curiosity. The emotion of curiosity. Like they have a list of things they don't want to do. They wake up, and for some reason, that just having a list of things they don't want to do makes them curious. All of these emotions are to some degree programmed in our brain through different events, different responses we've carried out in the past. But also, like I said before, everything we do invites something in. And the world around us, everything that they do invites something in. And so my point is, it's probably not your fault. Well, it is absolutely not your fault because you didn't design your brain to work the way your brain works. It just does. So obviously that's not your fault that your brain works that way. But all of our brains work that way. So it's not like it's just a you thing. It's all of us. But what's being invited into our lives is important. And I think that really is where the spiritual warfare comes in. But even if you're not religious and you take that part out of it, it's still true that you have to pay attention to what's being invited into your mind, into your subconscious mind, and into your life. And recognize that it's not just you inviting those things in, because things can be invited through things that you didn't, it wasn't an invitation, but here we are. It's in my life now. Like, for example, you just are on YouTube and you scroll and you find this video because it has an interesting or striking topic, and then you click on it and then you watch it and you're like, what demon did I just invite into my life? And for you, you might not say demon, but it's still a demon. It's still something in your brain now that's rotting you away, and you've accidentally invited it in. And so you have to take time to sometimes sort those things out and ask yourself, like, what defenses have I put up against feeling this way? What actions have I taken to defend myself against this invitation or to resist this feeling? Because this feeling, again, is a response to something, and that thing might be valid. And if you go to a therapist, they might figure out what that is, and it might be a really valid thing. Mm-hmm. It also might, like, it also might not be something that's like, oh, you're responding to a childhood trauma that you've just not dealt with for like 30 years. It might not be that, you know? It might literally be, oh, like, what kind of music have you been listening to lately? And you're like, oh, you know, a lot of emo stuff because I think it's interesting and relatable. And it's like, yeah, well, you're gonna feel related. You're gonna become more and more and more relatable to it as you keep on listening. You know, that's the way things work. And I'm not shunning emo music; it's a fine genre, and I think we need to talk about those things. But it's just important to recognize what kind of things are we inviting into our lives, and how are we dealing with them, and what defenses are we putting up, and when are we negating it? You know, sometimes we might feel sad, and it's like, well, is it valid? Or more importantly, not valid, but is it helpful? Because things might be valid, but they might not be helpful. You might have an experience where this certain thing happens and it triggers the emotion of rage. Okay? And it's like,
I love rage.
It's like, is it valid? Yeah, you might be justified in feeling rage. You might be it might be completely valid. But it might not be helpful at the moment. It could be, but it could also be unhelpful. Like, there are times where you might experience rage and it might help you save somebody's life. And that's a really good thing. There are other times that you might experience rage and you realize, like, literally we're talking about donkeys, and it's like, I'm getting fed up because this person's pronouncing donkeys weird. And that's stupid, and I need to let go of it and just not be prideful, because why would I strengthen my emotion for that? Let's not, right? There are things that can be helpful in the world, and there are things that can be hurtful. And sometimes our emotions can be either as well. So we have to pay attention. So what defenses and what actions are you taking to turn away from this sadness? When you experience the sadness, you know, you wake up in the morning, you feel this dread, you feel like, oh, I have a bunch of things I'm not motivated to do, and I just feel sad. Okay, reasonable. What actions are you taking to program yourself from not feeling sad about that? Sometimes you need to take a moment and talk to yourself and say, like, yeah, but let's talk a little bit logic and a little bit emotion, and talk to yourself, right? Like, logically, is this helpful? Is this emotion getting me through things better? Is this sadness important that I hold on to it? Or would it be better if I was experiencing a different emotion? And you say, well, it would be better if I was experiencing a different emotion, like motivation. Okay, great. Yeah, great. I mean, you've kind of already established that in your topic, but that's something that you look at and you say, well, yeah, that would be a better emotion. Great. That's already helping to defend you or just having those thoughts and thinking about them and validating those thoughts in your brain, often just doing that process will help you to start to dismiss things that are not good for you, or give you there's more to it, but that's basically what's called emotional control. And emotional control is it's highly important, but that's part of what establishes emotional control, is walking through those steps. Even if it's not even like you make a logical decision, or you make a, sorry, not a logical decision, I meant to say, you make an active decision where you take action into the world based on your decision. You might not even get that far, but even just thinking about it opens up the debate of whether that emotion is grounded and should be followed or not, or if you should associate with a different emotion, if you should start programming a different emotional response to that kind of experience. Because you can program a different emotional response to that kind of experience. I had to go through that. I did that myself. In high school, I was like that classic example I brought up, being called stupid. It used to trigger me. And then I was like, I don't have to be triggered by that. It is technically my choice. And I went through a process. And after, I don't even know if it was a month, but let's say about a month, bullies that I experienced no longer had that. I was no longer having the same emotional response to them. Instead, I was like taking that moment to be completely with it and being like, what's the best thing I can do in this moment? And then my response would be like, you know what? What you said is legitimately kind of funny. And I would tell them that. And they would be like, yeah, right, you get it. And then they would move on. And then guess what? They stopped bullying me. Because all of a sudden I was just like, I was on their wavelength and they didn't really. And every once in a while they might say something because they're that kind of person. And it was just like, you figure out how to navigate the situation, because you're no longer just responding without being able to contemplate your response, right? You have if you just let your emotions come through and you don't have any emotional control, well, then you're not going to have control over how you respond to things, and then it's just going to be a mess. And you can't even think logically at the moment of what to do, obviously, right? And I'm not saying, Anonymous, that you have none of these skills. Of course, I don't know, because you're anonymous, and that's great. But my point is, practicing these things, even if they don't help solve your sadness, because your sadness is relevant to something going on in your life that you need to solve, still practicing these things will make your life better in general. The last thing I want to say is actionable response. So the next step is to, when you decide like, hey, I'm experiencing sadness, and I don't know why, but here it is. What actions are you taking to teach yourself that you don't need to be sad? And what I mean by that is, it isn't necessarily about ignoring your sadness. Okay? It's about making a decision on what to do while you're sad. Okay? And whether your sadness ought to be part of the equation of what you're going to act out or not. Okay? So you feel sad, and then you ask yourself, is sadness if I follow this chain of sadness, is that going to lead me to the best results? And you say, okay, maybe not. Now, the action. What am I going to do now that I have discovered this? Or I might say, yes, sadness is appropriate here. Okay, great. Now, what am I going to do now that I've figured that out? Whatever that is, whether it's yes sadness or no sadness, whatever. Then you do that thing. I guess that's the number 4. You do the thing that you decide you're going to do. And what that does is it reorders your subconscious mind and starts creating a new habit. So you might be like, sadness. Okay. And then you like literally a year from now, you might be like, huh, it's really weird. But whenever I get sad, I find myself like always doing this one thing. Like I just go to work really hard whenever I get sad. So, sadness is kind of empowering for me. And it's like, no one can relate to that almost. But you know why you do that? It's because you started to, whenever you got sad, you would just go do things. And it's like, oh, right. Yeah, I did train myself.
So it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't even think about it anymore.
And you don't think about it. And you might be like, well, then why do I do that already? I'm that kind of person that already does that, but I never trained myself. Okay, that's totally understandable. How about the people in your life that have influenced you? Like your parents. Did they do that? Bet you they do. And if not them, maybe your brother or your sister, or some kind of influence, or maybe just one influence when you were really young and that just stuck with you. And that's what you do whenever you're sad. You just go do things. And you might not remember the instance, but it got programmed into you at some point. And so my point is, subconscious mind is a very powerful tool, and you can use it to your advantage. You can recognize that all of these emotions are responses that are triggered by habits, things that are programmed into your brain as responses to things. How do I respond to this thing that someone just said? Oh, I know the response. Your brain says sadness. And it's like, sometimes that's not appropriate, and you have to be like, no, that's not the appropriate emotional response. Let's reorder that. They just said something nice to me. I shouldn't feel sad about that. I should feel happy. What's wrong with me? Okay, let's start reordering my subconscious habits here on this moment. And from now on this particular activity, when someone compliments me, I'm going to get that emotion right. And I'm going to start making that emotion happen however that's possible. And I know it feels like I can't just make emotions happen, but you kind of can. You kind of can. You're like, literally, people can do that. If you give yourself an honest try, you can be like, you know what? I'm going to dig up an experience and just be happy and like live in that for a second. Like some people, it's like, imagine the feeling of you're on the beach and the sand is warm, not too hot, but it's warm. And you take your shoes off and you pull your socks off, just kind of let your toes sink into that sand and get between your toes. And you don't fight it, because you kind of want that warmth, and you're just like, oh yeah. And you let it like just slowly sink in, and you feel your feet sinking in, and you just experience that. Now, you just experienced
that feeling.
Yeah, you just experienced that in your head, and it gave you emotional responses in your head. And some people in this listening right now are like, I hate that. Please stop talking. And other people like Joe, I love that feeling. That is so.
I love that.
It's one of my favorite feelings.
I love keeping the sand in my shoes for like the whole rest of the week, if I can.
Wow.
To feel the sand. Like people hate sand in their shoes or their socks or whatever, right? Like I'm just
Joe
like,
loves
I love it.
Wow. See, and it's just a matter of perspective. Like you could decide, you know what? I want to be one of those guys that likes having sand in his shoes. I'm gonna start today and be like, I want to be one of those guys. And you go put sand in your shoe and you walk around like you enjoy it, and eventually, it won't even be eventually. Like immediately, you're gonna be like, yeah, I kind of like it, but like, I also kind of don't like it, and be honest. But then, like, eventually, you turn into the person that's like, you're walking around with sand in your shoes, and you're like, yeah, I remember that. I went through this study, this journey, this learning experience where I learned to like this. And you're like, yeah, here I am walking around with sand in my shoes. That's no bother to me. This is great. Other people, they can't handle it, but I'm awesome. You become one of those people. And it's all through training your subconscious mind. So I don't know if any of that is relevant. I don't know your situation, what's going on in it. Okay. But I hope some of that is useful nuggets. I know it's not, my intention is not to try to not discover what's making you sad. If you can discover that, go for it. But all of these tools will be helpful in your life's journey always. So I just thought I'd maybe just give you a tool belt with some tools in it, and tell you I can't solve your problem, but I can give you some tools to maybe help. And carry you along your way. Maybe there's a donut packed away in there for you to just give you a little bit of encouragement and energy and good taste. But that's all it's going to do for you. And then you're still going to have to find that sadness and why it's happening and solve it. But there you go.
I like donuts.
I like donuts too. Wow. They make me happy. They trigger an emotional
We have
response
something
in
in
me.
common.
Yeah.
You know what else I like? I like brownies.
I also like brownies. Oh my gosh.
Very specific ones that I
Yes.
will never be able to have until you come back to the United States.
My wife has made brownies literally yesterday, and we are eating.
It's her brownies. It's her brownies.
They're really good. I'm sure she could give you the recipe, but you probably wouldn't make them.
I wouldn't make them correctly.
They aren't hard to make, probably. I don't know. I have to ask her.
It would take a lot of practice to get good at baking. I'm not good at baking. I wreck things that I try and bake.
5 ingredients? Jeez, that's better than any recipe I make. Every recipe I make has like 30 because of all the spices.
It's not hard. I understand it's not hard. It's not hard to wreck it. And I'm good at that.
Yeah, August. Wow, that's amazing.
But you mentioned donuts and you mentioned tool belts, and both of them. So like I had an incredible high because you talked about donuts, and I had an incredible like traumatic like triggering experience because you said tool belts.
Yeah, sorry.
Because for the past 2 days I've been carrying around like a 30-pound tool belt.
Yeah,
and it's like, and it digs into my waist, and I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. But that's emotions, right? Those are those things, right?
And they're there to guide us and
right.
notify us that something is off or that something is on. But
and we can learn about ourselves from these too.
It could be, true.
They could be wrong, and it could just be a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wisdom in what Ryan was talking about, because we can train ourselves to like different things. We can train ourselves to not be afraid of things that we are currently afraid of. Especially when we realize, well, this is just a fear that I have. Why do I have this fear? Well, I don't know, because
it was put into me by someone else that wanted me to be fierce so that I would not accomplish things in my life. Yeah, that's stupid. I'm going to go.
Exactly. Exactly. Why am I afraid of this? What's the difficulty? Like, I know, for so long I was afraid to make phone calls to, grow business or whatever. Sometimes you got to make phone calls to people. You got to call other businesses. You got to find business. You got to do business. And sometimes that requires a phone call. And I can remember being super scared of making phone calls.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is hard about hitting, like, punching a succession of numbers and hitting the little green button and then waiting and then being nice to the person on the other end?
Something you do often, but then when it's like, oh, now it's for this particular reason, now all of a sudden it's scary.
Why is it so scary? Why is that scary? I don't understand. Like, I mean, it's scary to me. And I've had to work through these fears, and I still have to work through these fears from time to time. But then I have to ask myself, why is this scary? It's not difficult. These things are not hard.
You get your ego works against you because you get so concerned about how people might think about you. It's like, oh, this is and then it's like, not you're just destroying yourself. If those are your thoughts,
that's all it is. It's me taking myself too seriously. And sometimes we take our feelings too seriously. Sometimes we take ourselves too seriously. And it's like, no, this is about me anyway. When you can make the shift to this isn't really about me. This is how am I showing up for somebody else?
It's about everybody. Not just about you. So you got to give your...
It's about, like, we are in this world, but we're here to interact with other people too. And when we take ourselves too seriously and we're super self-absorbed, that can lead to this kind of sadness you're talking about. It can lead to depression. It can lead to an overall just, difficult time in life with our feelings, right? Self-absorption is kind of like that. It's not good for us. But we all kind of get that way sometimes, right? But really, if we can turn the focus away from ourselves and onto who we're talking to, that fixes so much. Fixes so much. And so that's another thing I would recommend that you do. Go out, Even just go out to the store and just look around and just look at people. And you can smile at them if you want. That's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, when you go around and just smile at people and see how many of them smile back at you, make eye contact and smile at people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people catch themselves smiling like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I know there are people out there that are going to be like, what are you looking at? And you can just be like, what? What are you talking about? If you, yeah. So anyway, if you can just walk around, smile, and watch people. And don't worry about what they're thinking about you, because they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves.
Yeah. And the things that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And you can really develop some compassion for people by doing that. And when you develop compassion for other people, it helps you through your own issues, because you realize, wait a second, we're kind of all in this soup together. And yeah, I might be going through some sadness, but I bet you this person is going through sadness too. And I wonder what's going on with them. And maybe it's harder. Maybe, and you can kind of work yourself into this whole shift in your perspective just by having a little compassion for another person. And it takes your eyes off of yourself, takes your eyes off of what you're going through. It puts your focus on another person, and maybe there's nothing you can do to help them at all. But you can care. And you can look at them and smile. And maybe that little smile brightens their day a little bit. Or maybe it makes them laugh at you because they think you're silly because you're smiling at random people in the store. And then you've brightened their day then too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because they're like, this guy's a real piece of work. What is he doing? Walking around smiling at people.
What are you on? Life.
And brownies.
Brownies, not the weird kind.
Really
just
good
regular
ones.
Brownies. They're great.
Just good chocolate brownies with the whipped cream sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Anonymous, I'm sorry you're feeling sad. I am. I know it sucks. It can be really hard. But I hope that, through what I've said, through what Ryan said, maybe we can help you understand that, it's just an emotion. It's something to pay attention to.
You're not stuck.
It's not something to put right. You don't have to be stuck there.
You might feel stuck. Might feel stuck, but remind yourself that the reality is you're not stuck. You will get out. You can get out.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find your way out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't despair. Just be you. Sometimes, that's what we need the most. Just be you.
And I'm going to tell you that you are infinitely valuable. You being you is what the world needs the most. And I don't care. I like so many people. There have been so many times, and sometimes we get into close relationships with people who just totally destroy us inside. And then it can be really hard to climb out. But if I can help you understand that you are valuable, infinitely valuable. There's never been anybody like you before. There never will be anybody like you again. And so, the world needs you as you, being you. The end.
Oh,
Ryan, you keep putting the spotlight on me. Now what are you doing?
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know. Here you go. I don't know. I'm putting my hands up. Going, I don't know. But no one can see that. So All right, well, here we are. It's okay. It's the end of the stream anyways. I'll see if I can...
It is.
If I can fix it, but...
All right. Well, you can all look at my lovely face.
Well, we got the I don't know what you call it.
We got the that thing.
The dancing. Oh, the squares are doing the
dancing purple squares.
Yeah.
They're square dancing.
They're square dancing squares that are squaring off.
Squares. Yes, square dancing.
The square dancing that are squaring off.
That reminds me of a traumatic experience.
Great. I love traumatic experiences. What? Why?
There's this game called Mr. Gun. Right?
Okay.
It's like a mobile game on your phone. And you're like this little square. You're a box with a gun. And you shoot at other boxes.
Okay.
And when you hit them, they spin around in a circle.
Oh.
Right? These little boxes.
And it sounds traumatic already.
My son, I played this game with my son when he was in first grade, right? It's not even, you're like in this screen and you're a box and you're shoot another box and it twirls and then it moves again and then you shoot it, whatever. My son wrote this thing. He wrote a little essay in first grade. They're like, okay, write about something that's important to you. And he wrote this little page, this little blurb about Mr. Gun and how fun it was. And I got in so much trouble from that first grade teacher. Your son playing a game called Mr. Gun. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what? Have you seen the game? Like, it's not really violent. It's boxes. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Silly.
That person was a choleric.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is.
Probably still is, yeah.
Yes. Space Invaders is violent. It is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, listen to the noises. Pew, 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 pew.
Wait, asteroids? What do those asteroids do to you?
Yeah, why are you blowing up an inanimate object?
Pac-Man? The gore.
Dude.
That's got ghosts, so... And... So basically it has the dead. And then it also has... I don't know if those are pills. My goodness. We've got...
You're eating pills. And you know what? And it has this whole connotation of being bigger is better because the big ones actually change you and change the ghosts into little blue ghosts, and you can eat the ghosts after you eat the big ones. So wait, so if I'm not big, I'm not important?
Yeah, what's wrong with... And Tetris? Oh my gosh, don't even get me started with Tetris. Vile.
Man. Yeah. Like when you hit the goal, like it disappears, it goes away. They take it away from you.
Yeah, racism at its finest.
It's like real life, anytime you succeed, they take it all away.
That's right. And they call that points, but you're not really making any. Yeah.
You win by losing everything. Yeah. You win by losing it all.
You're like, I was in the middle of second that up. What the heck? Why'd you cheat? What did...
I was trying to make a big tall stack, not get rid of it all, man.
Yeah.
I want to build a big tower.
Huh. That's great.
Oh, non-prescription pills and who knows where fruits. What? Which reminds me of Fruit Ninja. Remember that game?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm back. Weird.
You're back. Welcome back.
Anything. Thanks.
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja, yeah. I didn't play it because I looked at it and it said...
Very violent. Yeah. Oh, it's a violent game. You're slicing up fruit, man. You better not do it.
Those poor fruits.
Those poor fruits.
And honestly, that poor ninja. How did he get himself involved with such an activity?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the explosives. You're right, Shade.
Oh, wow.
There were explosives in that.
Yeah.
Such a violent... Oh, my gosh, man.
Where's the dignity? At all. There's no dignity in that game.
I cannot play games like Fruit Ninja anymore. I have to go to, like, Doom.
I'm putting my foot... Yeah.
Instead.
Putting my foot down.
No more violence against fruit. Play Doom instead.
I'm glad you said Doom and not Duke Nukem.
Duke
Nukem would have been even worse, though. To be honest, if you said Duke Nukem, it would have been even worse.
Doom isn't that bad. It's like at least you're fighting demons, right?
Yeah,
it's
you're
kind
fighting
of gory,
demons, right? Yeah. Duke Nukem is well, it's not good for kids, and it was traumatizing for me as a child playing it when I was like 9 years old and getting jump scares and like I was playing the game, but oh my gosh, it was so.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, let's not talk about it. There's like stuff in that game that children shouldn't see.
But you know what game's the worst? Mario Kart.
Oh yeah? What's that?
You turn into a bullet.
Yeah, you're a literal bullet. That's true. And they call you Bill.
Do I look like a Bill? Do I look like a Bill to you? I'm not charging you money.
Mm-hmm. A Bill.
And you use shrooms.
Right. Yep. And those poor turtles.
And all the turtles had to die.
Yeah, that's true. Or if they're alive, that's maybe worse. That's animal cruelty.
Yep. They just toss they litter banana peels.
In that game, you literally take turtle shells from... Hi. Okay. You take...
What is up with your camera?
Okay, I figured it out. You take literal... what do you call those? Shells and throw them.
Why are you so big? Dude.
And you chuck them at
I want to get in on this.
At other turtles. Right? That's horrific. Like, hey, let's take apart this turtle and then take its shell and chuck it at another turtle. Very awful. Take over.
My webcam control doesn't work.
It is because I did the hand thing, yes. You got it, sweetheart. That's what happened. I was like, what? Why? And then I figured it out. Yeah. I have to turn the hand gestures off somehow. I think something... I don't know how I did it, but there was a hand... Literal... Oh. Here, hi. Can I... I don't know the gestures. Ah, there we go. I got it to happen. Yeah. Hi. Close front and center. You guys go. Welcome to this stream. All right. Fix that. No, that's the wrong way.
Scrabble with the hurtful words.
Yes, Scrabble. Wow.
Dude. I agree, Super Neon Blue. That is too uffny.
Oh my gosh, the uffna level of that. The uffna level of that is high.
Too uffny, man.
That's right.
I'll tell you what.
I agree. Too uffny.
You're a uffny egg.
Yeah. Aww.
Oh, don't cry.
Yeah. Thank you guys for enjoying our stream with us. Thanks for being here and being you. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anonymous, for your topic. We hope that something we've said is helpful on your journey through it. And yeah, thank you for your questions. Thank you for this opportunity of being blessed by your presence, everybody. And we hope to see you again next Wednesday when we do another stream. We're currently half an hour over, so it'd be a good time to close it down.
So we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Thank you, August. You're awesome. You're funny and so lovable. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
We'll see you next week.
We will.
That'd be great.
As long as you come, we'll come. So,
yeah, we'll be here.
It's up to you. If you want us to see you next week, you gotta come. So that's on you. Anyways, we love you. Bye now.
Bye, guys. We're still on, aren't we? They're still waving.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing it.
Let's just.
I'm not ready to stop. Yeah. I'm not ready to not be on stream anymore. Just keep it going.
All right. Well, you just get it.
But my arm's getting tired, and I'm clicking the faces on here. So I'm like doing two things at the same time, which can help with trauma.
We're at the whim of the devices, man. Okay.